here's a, I feel like I am playing up the kind of like Grinchy meanness because we have so many people here who are genuinely lovely and delightful.
And honestly, to be mean, and it just doesn't come out.
Yeah, it's just not your thing, and it comes
feet up, I get close.
It comes so easily to me. It's like it's there in my heart. But I play that up because it's funny for Desert Bus. But I'll tell you why I don't like Disney songs.
Why?
And it's not because they're bad. It's actually because they're extremely good. Okay, I will relate this to food because food is something I know how to make. I know a lot about music, but I'm not a very good singer, and I've never tried to put it together because I don't have a very good sense of rhythm. I'm an appreciator of music, but not a very good performer of it. But when you're cooking and you go to a restaurant and you have a meal that's really good, and you think, why is this restaurant meal so tasty? And because I know chefs and because I like to cook, I've asked them, and this is a trick I pull when I make food for my friends and they come over for a dinner party.
Which she does very well, by the way.
I put a lot of butter and salt in it. And that is what chefs at restaurants do. And what I don't, and like, that is great, but you can't eat food like that all the time. It's a special food. It's a sometimes treat. And what I don't like about Disney songs is they are the oral equivalent of lots of butter and lots of salt to sell products to children.
That makes some sense,
To sell movies and tie-ins, and the product is not, the product is the loyalty of the children, and I don't like that.
I also think to tie in, because that makes a lot of sense.
So you object on more on a moral ground than on a musical ground.
Yeah, and the type of music that I find the most interesting is music that a lot of people don't like. This is going to sound stupid, but I like music that really pushes the boundaries of what is music.
Oh, like Randy Newman songs.
That pushes it because they're really not very good.
So I have a question for you, Kathleen. I know you don't consider yourself much of a singer, but you listen to a lot of music. Mm-hmm. When you're at home and nobody's listening, do you tend to sing along, or do you just listen and appreciate?
I do not listen to very much music with lyrics.
Okay, because here's the thing. As someone who loves singing, I can appreciate some of the other music, but sometimes there's music I really want to sing along to. And one of the things that's wonderful about Disney music is it's great for singing along to. We were talking about Let It Go the other day, and a lot of people consider that it's not like the best of Disney music, but it's clearly fun and it's taken off hugely, and we're wondering why is that? Because it's the song you sing in the shower. It's so singable.
Yeah, well,
it's
exactly.
so fun to sing too, but it's not as fun to just
They're
listen
like
to
precision
over and over
focused to use like the kind of chord changes that you're like, I've heard this in other songs. Like they're pleasurable. They just hit that little moment in your brain. They are engineered to be memorable and hooky and fun and sound good.
You know the one that meets in the middle for me? I don't know if you'll agree with this or not, but Grow Up and Blow Away by Metric. It's interesting. It's got some tricky note changes, but then when you can sing it, you're like, oh, I got that. And it is still fun to sing with, but it's got more of that subtle interest to it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and sometimes you can get really divine pop songs that hit that, but they're made by like, you know who's really good at Metric? Grimes is really good at that. She's got some incredibly catchy songs because she is trying to, but she's not coming at it from like this industrial sort of weaponized sell products angle, which I don't like.
Weaponized products.
I like
that.
I find a lot of like some of the earlier Disney musicals, right up into Aladdin. They were, and halfway through Aladdin, the guy who was doing the lyrics died, and you can see that the changes from like one jump to a whole new world. That's where they switched over to Elton John. And but I like the more sort of like in like Little Mermaid and Aladdin, and it has that sort of, you know, the songs are more, I mean they still obviously are musically in that kind of happy butter zone, but they
butter zone. I like
the
that.
happy butter zone. Oh, let's make that a thing.
But the lyrics tend to be more like I like that's the thing I always look for in musicals, where the songs are actually delivering, like they're actually telling you interesting things. It's not just I love you and then
part of the plot.
And then the whole song is just about how they love each other.
Oh,
it's
so,
actually like
so I've compared this to, I grew up listening to a lot of Christian rock and pop and whatever, because I went to church and I was in a youth group, and actually there was a fair bit of quite good stuff. One of my favorite is the Newsboys. Some of their songs are a little bothersome to me now, but they're interesting and funny and weird. But what I found about, people would say, oh, Christian music, and I'm like, you know what? Actually, it's just the same as pop music. There's a whole lot of incredibly trite crap that is like just theologically bland as heck. And then there are a few that are actually interesting, which is just the same as pop. You've got Weezer being like, "You're my best friend and I love you."
Hey, Weezer's got
And then
some
you-
problems.
Oh, Weezer has some great songs and they perform amazingly live, and they have some really crappy songs and some problems. That was not one of their good songs. But then you have some pop songs that are actually interesting lyrics and it like. Motion City Soundtrack, one of my absolute favorites. Man, do they know how to write catchy music with topics that aren't really deep, but the lyrics are good. So, same mix of saccharine crap and actual excellence.
And when I was younger, Motion City Soundtrack taught me a lot of words that I did not know before.
Right? Them and the Decemberists will give you a really good vocabulary.
So that end, one of my favorite ska bands is a Christian ska band.
Really?
Five Iron Frenzy.
Nice.
They're not around anymore, but
I remember
they were
them.
Really good and
Yeah.
really good music.
Nice. There was
Roll
another
on
ska
Kids,
one I
yeah.
can't remember the name of.
God,
I really liked Jars of Clay for a while, then they got boring and bland for a while again, but they had some good songs first. Anyway,
So anyhow,
this
That's
is
why-
my music
that's
talk.
why I'm a little bit of a curmudgeon, and
It's
that's why
always-
I listen.
I like talking music with you because I always learn about some new and interesting things, and we don't like the same things, but we always find some in the middle that we can both.
And then here's the thing: is I complain a lot, and I honestly, while not every cup of music is to my taste, I respect music, and I respect the fact that Disney, that the songwriters Disney hires are able to so incredibly hone their art to do that. Like that is not easy. So these people are literally probably some of the best pop songwriters in the world to be able to
It's-
manufacture a hit,
And-
right?
and-
Like that's not easy.
And there is like you do in the back of your mind, like especially the more recent stuff, like back in the day, Disney was sort of putting out stuff and they had their merchandise and stuff, but it wasn't the manufacturing juggernaut of toys and stuff now. So now you can see in movies and in when they bring out stuff where it's like, oh, we need to bring out a thing that appeals to this demographic, so we'll make this different, we'll make a movie that does this, or we need, it's like you can feel the hands of the marketing people in there, which is
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing, yeah, you gotta
they do
necessarily-
their jobs well.
You gotta
Which-
think, Let It Go. That's the centerpiece of the movie. That had to be a huge hit. That had to, that probably went through 30, 40 revisions to get it just right, to get it right in the butter zone.
It takes a lot of work to reliably stay in the butter zone. It's just so slippery.
yeah.
Really
Thank
interesting.
you, Thomas.
that-
That's why I throw some salt
Big
down
Hero
for
6,
subtraction.
as much as I want to respect that, I really love that movie. But you can see the hero of that movie, Baymax, is clearly designed to be marketable in toys.
Oh, he's so soft and
Big-
squishy
big,
and cute.
soft and squishy. He's even white to save on ink costs.
Wow.
Or like the way they have the
What are those? Are those Persona cards?
It looks like it, yeah.
It looks like it.
the way the Despicable Me thing, now they're doing like the Despicable Minions
Yep,
movie,
the Minions
because
movies.
they're just like, these things, everybody wants them.
Get a kid to love a
These
thing.
things
Well, that
are
was with
basically troll dolls at this
Transformers,
point.
Yeah.
All right.
We can just make whatever we want.
Anyhow.
Power Rangers, all those things. were
That was
just
fun.
like, let's
Anyway.
sell some
That was-
toys.
That was
bought
very.
into
That was
all of
quite
it.
cerebral.
We should do some motions, and maybe on my shift we'll sing some Motion City soundtrack stuff because that has been like just my absolute favorite music lately. I
Can
listen
I-
to it while I'm doing tons of Desert Bus work.
I'm gonna.